next on the panel, we have Leontino Balbo. He is Executive Vice President of Native, which is part of the family Balbo group. And its mission is to produce sugarcane through sustainable methods. Leontino has created a production system that we're going to hear about. It's called the Ecosystem Revitalizing Agriculture, and it provides higher yields than conventional agriculture without any chemical fertilizer. Leontino, you have 10 minutes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here to talk to you, to tell you about a new production system, a biological production system called Ecosystem Revitalizing Agriculture. So you can start. I joined my family business 32 years ago as an agronomist in Brazil. It's not changing. Yeah, where they used to produce cane in the traditional way, with the burning, manual cutting, the use of non-effective machinery, and heavy use of pesticides, and all that resulted that our soils started degrading. I mean, they start becoming dead, pulverized, and compacted. So then I proposed my family to eliminate cane burning through developing the first Brazilian green cane harvesting. We took 5 years, 10,000 hours, day and night, until we helped the manufacturer to launch the first Brazilian green cane harvester. And this became a very clean operation. And while the machine harvesters the industrializable part, the machine spreads over the soil around 20 tons of trash per hectare, which creates a protective mulching. Also, the green cane harvesting mechanization was implemented with no unemployment. And we started feeding the biota instead of feeding the plants through recycling all industrial organic waste products like finesses, filter cake, and combining this with the application of ground rocks. So these ground rocks, they contain up to 70 different minerals in a way that we are reposing minerals lost in the last centuries, okay? So these minerals are incorporated and the soil is moved once in every 8 years just. Crop rotation is used in 100% of the area. This is a giant bean. And then over which we do the direct planting. So, and then we say that the bioreactor is armed under the mulch, which brought back strongly soil life to the environment. Okay, so from dead and pulverized soil, in less than 10 years, we got a highly fertile and soft soil. I mean, alive with restored biostructure. And this soil, a new soil, is so rich compared to the neighbors. At the fence, you can see the difference between our soil and the neighbor soil. And this soil sustains productivities up to 200 tons per hectare with no irrigation, in a way that in the last 20 years, we have had more than 24% more yield than conventional production the same way. Also, with having extended the cane fields production life cycle in 15%. The crop stand replaced investments and techniques used by agriculture precision. We replaced all pesticides by biological control practices. Just one example, one boar. So we raise 100,000 boars per day to use as food to multiply a small micro-wasp, a very small micro-wasp, which is then released into the fields to efficiently control the boar again. The efficiency of this control is 99.5%. Also, The natural resource and biodiversity restoring cropland generated documented environmental services. So we have conducted scientific studies regarding, for instance, water, comparing the underground quality water with the underground in the forest in organic fields. And surprisingly, we have pumped water from 20 meter deep, and the water quality in the organic fields are as good as under the forest, besides having more water volume being recycled to the environment. We already planted 2.5 million native trees in order to create islands of vegetable diversity. And all this previous practice combined resulted in a huge habitat improvement, which brought back the fauna of vertebrate. So after 15 years surveying the fauna by Embrapa, we now register at least 340 species of superior vertebrates in the cane fields. This is more than what we have in half of Brazilian natural parks. So we also surveyed the fauna of arthropods, and we stopped counting when we reached more than 540 species of insects, which acts as the basis of the food chain, in the net chain. And so predators, and for instance, millions of beneficial termites, which do not attack the cane, but feeds the anteater as well, the amphibians. All these pictures are from animals which live inside the cane fields or around. And there are some of them are biological indicators. They are so rare that they are biological indicators of environmental quality. So we have more than 240 species of birds, which means in 74 square kilometers, half of the European bird fauna. So mammals, we have the Brazilian wolf, the anteater, rare species of monkeys, otter, squirrels, deers, and we have 12 trap cameras continuously getting images and films from the spontaneous routine of the animals. This is the Brazilian fox, a deer inside the cane fields, which now is attending the 3 dimensions of their habitat needs. Brazilian wolf and 4 species of cats. Disputing, this is the capybara, but we have 4 different species, the anteater with the pop in the back, all in the cane field, and the Brazilian puma, and we have 4 species of cat disputing territory. The demographic density they are reaching in our cane fields, and this is the way we sell to the public in 14,000 supermarkets in Brazil. So the demographic density, the predators are reaching in our cane fields are higher than in natural forests in Brazil. We also got a drastic reduction of greenhouse gases emissions. In spite of having a productivity 20% higher, we are now emitting 35% less greenhouse gases. So we are negative. And we sell all the products in 60 countries through different organic certifications as well as fair trade certifications. So the social aspects of these products is carefully taken because we export to the most demanding, the 60 most demanding countries in the world. So environmental education is also very well this production system already got international recognition. We were invited to be members of the union for the biotrade. We were chosen among 29 projects in the world who presents the best sustainable farming methods by the Biodiversity Included Company, a project linked to the United Nations. Also, the World Economic Forum chose us as one of the best examples, as well as the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Could ERA practice be replicated in other crops? Yes. I challenged myself and I could produce a successful production of sunflower. And recently I produced soybean with no biological control. We could induce a natural immunological system by using ground rock fertilization. And we harvested this soybean without zero application of anything. So 54 days after seed, and the soy produced almost 4 tons per hectare. In this first year, I left the animals to eat. The same thing I did with corn. So we planted organic corn, year planted corn, see how healthy and colored the plants, and with 45 days, and then approaching the harvesting when we have more than 8 tons per hectare. And now I'm assisting a huge family business center in Brazil which rotates soybean, corn, and cotton. And after 6 months of work, we could eliminate 100% chemical fertilizer and insecticides in a soil which is literally soaked with insecticides, herbicides, Roundup, and so on. And we used large-scale biological control with 100% efficacy. So, and then there we are getting a much more photosynthetic efficiency by the use of ground rocks. Also, a much better plant architecture. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Please.